Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're back here today with some more Dragon Age Inquisition as we continue our journey in this wonderful, wonderful game that I've become utterly addicted to beyond belief. Anyways, though, we're back here inside of our human rogue, and you can see that we've managed to pick up two brand new daggers. These are actually double-sided weapons that we now can carry around, and their DPS is really, really high. The best part about these weapons is that I actually crafted them, so I'm learning that the crafting system is definitely a pretty powerful tool in the game. And while it isn't all that complex, you know, it's not like super insane, it's not supposed to be, it does the job, and you actually can make some pretty decent, you know, equipment here. So we have Elo and Milo. Again, it's just my obsession to name these daggers after anything that is from any sort of an indie game for some reason. So we have Elo and Milo. If you played Alomio, you'll know exactly what game I'm talking about. Anyways, if we take a look at these things, we can see they're doing 182 DPS. They also are different. They're not the same. So we have 73 AoE damage. We have a +6 critical damage bonus and a +3 dexterity. We also have 2 empty slots for that we haven't filled just yet with upgrades. Now, if we go ahead and look at Milo, you'll see that he has a +6 critical damage bonus and +3 dexterity as well. So you can actually change these so they don't both have the same sort of statistics. In this case, they ended up having the same statistics. But yeah, so crafting already sort of showing its benefits. I haven't really been able to craft any sort of armor that is better than what I have. But this Inquisition armor is actually pretty decent. Now I imagine that's not going to be the case as we move further down the road. Look at those trees swaying. It's the small things in this game that I really catch on to. This and Far Cry 4 have really officially become my two favorite games, you know, of like the past couple years actually. They're on my list now for like, yes, you should play these games. I mean, just look at that forest. I love it. I love it. Anyways, we're not here today to stand around and talk about how much I love this game inside of New Haven. We're actually here to go on one of the sort of smaller scale mission areas in the world of Dragon Age Inquisition. So if we go ahead and take a look at our quest map, we can go ahead and lock out here to the world map, and we're actually going to head our way down to the Storm Coast. You guys may have saw me mention this in the previous video, and you can see we actually have 4 quests here. They're smaller ones. We need to find 4 signs of the Warden, we need to close 2 Fade Rifts, we need to establish 3 camps, and we need to advance to the rendezvous point. This is the main quest. Basically, there's a group of Inquisition soldiers down here looking for the Grey Wardens, and things kind of go astray. So let's go ahead and we're gonna fast travel to Storm's Solitude, and of course we only have just a few people with us right now, so we're gonna go ahead and take Solas, Cassandra, as well as Varric. Sort of our go-to crew right now because we don't really have any other followers. That's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Gaining followers and meeting the different characters has always been a really integral part of the Dragon Age experience, and one that I look forward to very much. So we're still not that far into this game at all. The fact that we're probably going to only be doing maybe one of these a week is gonna take us some time, but that's okay. Hopefully the length of these videos will sort of help that pace move on a little bit longer. The thing that's killing me is I'm really tempted to make another character to go to play through, but at the same time, when I do these videos, I want to have it like be my first experience that you guys are experiencing alongside of me, because it just helps me, you know, enjoy it more rather than playing through it a second time. So I'm kind of waiting until I get ready to record one of these to play the game, and it's been scratching at the inside of my skull. But luckily, I've had things like Destiny and Far Cry 4 to keep me busy. It is pouring rain here, much like it is where I live actually currently. So. Fun. Rain everywhere. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at our potions quickly before we head into battle. We can definitely replenish some of our potions for our characters here. Cassandra is good. You'll notice we now have 8 healing potions per character. Which, is that the right number? Has it always been 8? I feel like I don't actually know. Okay, we need to get Solas. Oh, there we go. That should be more than enough. We're not looking to see heavy resistance here. This isn't an extremely high level zone, so I'm not ultra concerned. But let's go ahead and talk to our requisitions officer.
This might interest you, sir.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
Acquired recipe, salvage ships. Okay, not sure what that is, but let's go ahead and make our way down. Let's take a look at the map, actually. Just get a good idea of what we're looking at in this zone. So a lot of undiscovered area. Looks like we have a rift off to the coast there. Perhaps that's where we'll head first before we even worry about going to the rendezvous point. We'll make our way over yonder, and then we'll kick back to the rendezvous point. You'll see this is what I was talking about. This is one of the smaller areas in the game. It is, again, broken up to all these different zones. Some of them are very large, some of them are small. In this case, the Storm Coast is a smaller selection of the map. So let's go ahead and make our way down here. Looks like we've got some Hussarian blades off to the distance. Let's go ahead and cloak. If I can remember how to cloak instead of power dashed at them. It's been a while. So it's a bad start to combat. Let's get our way. Let's make our way out of this a little bit. Backstab him. That guy hits hard. He does have a mace and a shield, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. There we go, clean those guys up. So right there, it's like I would actually probably call that whole combat scenario a failure because I burned through 2 whole potions, which I just don't think was completely necessary, but that's what it is. We got Hussarian Hound. It's not a Mabari though, so I'm not that afraid of it. There we go, Solas. That's what I want to see, man. He's got to be throwing up those guard. What is basically his shield wall on us, because there's a huge benefit that comes from that. We probably also would benefit from using the sort of tactical mode and really letting Cassandra sort of, you know, pull aggro on these guys a little bit initially, rather than me going in and taking a lot of damage. But hey, we're learning. We're learning. Getting stuck under trees. Not bad, not bad. Could have went worse. This is a gorgeous location, man. I just want to kind of take this all in over here.
The waking sea. Somewhere across all that water is Kirkwall.
It was a long journey to Haven.
Considering the company, I'm surprised it didn't feel longer.
Well done with the waves, man. That's cool. Alright, let's make our way over to this first sort of rift over here. Not sure where. It's got to be, I mean, like way out in the ocean practically. Or maybe near this giant sort of location over here, whatever this building is in the distance there. I see lots of iron up there. We know where to go if we need iron. Let's grab a couple pieces while we're here. They've done a really great job with the locations, and I think it stands out even more as someone who's played Dragon Age 2, because the biggest disappointment with Dragon Age 2 was obviously rush development led to recycled dungeon zones. I mean, and in fact, entire areas of the map seemed to be recycled, and it was just hugely disappointing because, for me, one of the best parts of the original Dragon Age was, you know, there was a decent sense of exploration, going to the different areas and sort of, you know, just discovery. So this is, like, this is nice. This is awesome. I can dig this rapid, you know, these huge waves, this rough and tumbling ocean over here. This looks like we have a cave, and this is like a whole established. This is, man, I'm digging this. Alright, let's make our way into the cave. I gotta stop fanboying out over here. It's a dark cave, that's for sure. I see we got 3 red dots on the map. It's kind of dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that those aren't any sort of human. So we could go ahead and leave out the entrance, but what kind of a wimp would we be if we did such a thing? Let's go ahead and light ourselves a path here. We've got some giant spiders. And we've been insta-killed because we weren't paying attention to our health there. Let's go ahead and take control of Varric. I would say Varric is sort of my go-to guy. Not just because he's ranged, but because some of his abilities are extremely effective at sort of doing last stand situations where, you know, you kind of lost all your crew. Same thing goes with Salos, though. Salos is really, really great at sort of holding the fort down when things kind of hit the fan. But playing as Varric is kind of like, man, maybe I should roll the Ranger. Bianca is an extremely powerful tool to your party, that's for sure. Solas with the Resurrect. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead, loot this, and then switch back to our character here. Need to focus a little bit more on doing a lot of sort of guerrilla style attacks, you know, go in, do some damage, and leave. I'm getting way too caught up in engaging with heavy damage, and the issue is I can actually do a lot of burst damage as my character, so I'm pulling aggro away from Cassandra, which is just not good. It's not what we want. We don't want to do that. She needs to be the tank. She has guard. She has all of the, juicy goodness that keeps her alive in extended periods of combat, so we'll have to focus on that. We get a nice schematic, though, for some sturdy defender mail. Creepy sound effects going on in here. Looks like we got a mace. This is just like a creepy place in general, but hey, lots of loot, so I'm done with that. Claymore, free marches, helmets. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of this inventory that we've just gathered. So weapons, we got a claymore and a hand hammer, nothing extremely special. We'll check and see if those can be any use. I don't really think so, though. We're sitting on a lot of good armor, to be honest. We just cannot currently equip it to any of our characters, so let's go ahead and take a look at Cassandra quickly as a warrior. She could actually use this helmet. That's going to be a pretty decent benefit for her. You can see here we have some good armor that she just can't use just yet. Really close, not quite there, level 8, so I'm pretty happy to be sitting on that, actually, because that's going to be beneficial down the road for her. That's actually a really cool looking helmet. I'm a big fan of that. It's creepy. You gotta go with the fear factor sometimes. Use fear tactics. Let's just double check her weapons as well. I know that both of the pieces of equipment that we got are essentially warrior items, so two-handed claymore, not really what she's into, so we'll stick with what we have. Let's go ahead and throw it on a save. Let's check this place out a little bit more. We still got a little bit of an area here to explore. More loot chest. I'm always down with that. Disciples lightning staff. Got another torch we can light.
They call it the Waking Sea because it's said that here the Maker's wrath was awake.
So we got some more spiders on the other side of the door here. I'm gonna go ahead and cloak, sneak my way through, and let them engage before I even consider attacking here. A lot of spiders here. It's actually a deep stalker, not a spider. Maybe we can single this one out here. Go ahead and use a Regeneration Potion. That's going to help our health start to regain while we're using Solas's Guard to protect ourselves from the damage. Then we're going to go ahead and use our Evade. Get out of the way here. Recloak again. Going for another set of attacks. That's a little bit more we want to do. I probably could have pulled out a little bit earlier and prevented myself from taking some of that damage, but like I said before, we're learning. We're learning. Could have went a lot worse. That's all I have to say. Oh, there we go. We filled the requisition there. We can head back and we can use that salvage now. So that's a cave cleared out. Let's go ahead and make our way back this way and finally go ahead and check out that first rift and eliminate that before we consider. We gotta be a little bit careful here because I know we cannot swim in this game. Somewhat of a disappointment, and they don't even use some really ridiculous excuse like Dragon's Dogma. You know, they could have told me, like, there's killer fish in the water. Don't go there. They'll eat you alive. I don't think BioWare's into the whole Japanese corniness, so that's probably why they steered away from that kind of an excuse. Warren's Outlook. So this is where one of our very first rifts on this island is going to be. We only have 2, so it's not a heavily demon-infected area, I guess you could say. Maybe because the Grey Wardens have been here? Who knows? A lot of talk in this game about, the previous Dragon Age experience. Dragon Age 2 seems to come up the most, with Kirkwall being one of the big discussing topics. Oh, that's not good. The issue with Dragonlings is usually that means there's a dragon nearby, and dragons kick your ass, to put it simply. Let's go ahead and heal up Cassandra. She has no potions. We'll just give her regeneration. Solas is going to just have to sort of deal. It's not what I wanted to do, but hey, whatever. Let's go ahead and cloak. I think we have a bit of an audio bug going on here, so yeah. Not sure if I'm able to break it free, but I guess we'll see. Let's kill off these dragons. We'll have to just deal with it for now. Basically, when you go into stealth with the rogue class, there is supposed to be sort of a muffle of the audio, but it appears that that audio muffling has kind of sort of consisted. It's just consistently going on. Let's just deal with the dragonlings, though. I'm not too worried about the audio right now. Okay, that went alright, mostly just because the dragon didn't show up. That would have been really bad. Dragon blood. We got another dragonling straight ahead. Dragon scales. Probably be pretty useful for crafting. There we go, the audio finally kicked back in. It was a bit odd, that's for sure. Let's continue onward. So I'm hoping it's just a rift and there's no dragon here, but we'll see. It would actually be pretty exciting to see a dragon. I've seen one so far. You guys didn't really get to see that because it's kind of in a zone I wasn't supposed to be in, so... You know, we'll see the dragons eventually, though. I'm not in a huge rush to be annihilated by them, let's put it that way. Let's go ahead and pick off these range guys. Good, not good. This is a bad engagement to start. We've got too many shade up and... So yeah, we're not doing enough damage to get him out of here. Let's see what we can do. Feeling that was gonna happen, we need to get Cass out of there. So are you? Hey, you can't win them all. We had to die eventually, didn't we? I was just hoping it wasn't going to happen when I was actually playing the game, you know, on screen, but it is what it is. Like I said, we didn't properly prepare for that, and I've talked about the difficulty level in this game before, playing on hard mode. I can't imagine what Nightmare is like for me. Like I said, a little bit too much of a whole bullet sponge deal going on, but in this case, sword sponge. Anyways, let's go ahead and reassess the situation. We are low on health, Solus is low on health, and we're going to take a little bit of damage here engaging this. But hey. Alright, not bad, not bad. Big issue again here was our sort of conservation of potions throughout the length of this, you know, starting engagement here wasn't too good. We probably would have benefited from going back to the camp and replenishing, but we're going to have to just try and deal with this. I'm going to go ahead and drink a Regeneration Potion. Solus is just going to sort of have to deal, to be honest. It's the only issue with having that third potion slot locked right now is your magic types, you kind of got to pick and choose. You know, do I want to be able to give him, you know, that extra mana when he needs it, or do I want to be able to heal him? You know, is he going to be playing back further? Is he going to get caught up because we're in a tight situation? Too many questions to be answered. Let's go ahead and ignore these guys, though. I think that was my biggest mistake. And help our team over here engage the rest of these shades. Looks like that bug came in again, so has definitely a bug to do with the stealth mechanic. Huge damage on that attack. That was nice. Alright. Let's finish these guys up. I'm going to go ahead and disrupt the rift. Do some extra damage for our team while they engage the rest of these shades. Boom. Big hits all over. That's what I'm talking about. separate ourselves from the battle in silence. Disrupt that rift. I think I'm gonna focus on some of these smaller shades here. I can do a decent amount of damage to them while they sort of scrape away at that larger shade that we have there. And I knew that was coming. We got a quick resurrect from Solos though. Good work on his part. Let's go ahead and get that regen up. Audio is back.
Yet I still get all the suspicion.
I am not without sympathy, especially given recent events.
I would never accuse you of having
Close that rift. 1 out of 2 down. Not bad at all.
as friends.
Halfway to level 7. We're getting there. Increase to our influence. We just pushed into level 3. That is always nice to see. Just check the place out a little bit. More power points, always useful, of course, to use those in the war room. Help push the powers of the Inquisition further throughout the lands. So I think what we're going to do at this point, let's just check this loot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to fast travel straight back to the camp. And mix up some more potions, because we're definitely going to need those. We missed an astrarium. Oh, didn't even see that was there. And then we'll make our way to the rendezvous point, I think. Won't be not a bad idea. Back to Storm's Solitude. Here we go. Now, I think our only issue here is I do not know that we have... Yeah, okay. I was going to say, healing potions instantly are replenished. In order to craft other potions, you do need, of course, crafting elements, plants, and things of that nature. So we're just going to have to deal with a lack of regeneration potions moving forward here, but not too worried about it. We'll make it happen. What else are we going to do? Let's go ahead and set our marker for cleaning house. The rendezvous point for the main mission on this island, sort of the reason why we're here.
I confess, Solus, I am surprised.
I like that they didn't decide to just sort of say, oh, well, we're gonna send the player to this small island to sort of, you know, do some mission involving the Grey Wardens, supposedly, and we'll just leave it at that. I like that they sort of continued to carry over some of the regular, you know, ideas that we see in the larger areas of the world, like the rifts. I mean, obviously this is a big deal, you know, that these rifts have busted open. Why wouldn't they exist in more than one place? Unless, of course, that's how they wanted the story to go, but the idea that they've already spread everywhere is, I like that. Beware of falling rocks. I feel like that's a sign that goblins would make, and then they would just stand up there and push rocks down on people all day who are walking by because they thought it was hilarious. Because they're silly goblins, of course. Oh, we got a bear. I'd rather not even just deal with the bear, to be honest. Especially not when we got hounds and archers to deal with. Let's take this guy out. Hello. Sorry. More targets inbound. We got another fellow rogue here. Or maybe not. There we go. Managed to not really waste too many potions. In fact, I think we only used one during that all. At least for our primary character here.
These must be the missing soldiers. Murdered. Shit.
We should see that their families are notified.
So I guess at this point we're just gonna find these bandits and deal with them. Here's all, of course, the soldiers we came to look for, the ones who were out looking for the Grey Wardens. They've all sort of died. Kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? It's a soldier's life for them, I guess. Sad to say. In time of magic and great war, lives must be sacrificed for the greater will. I'm sure some wise man would say that. Alright, let's go ahead, just double check our inventory real quick. I know we picked up some stuff recently, probably nothing of extreme use, but looks like we got a staff. Let's just go ahead and make sure that we're not wasting Solos's time here. I mean, he is equipped with a pretty powerful staff. Yeah, we're gonna be just fine there. Let's not mess too much with that. However, we did have some armor to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at our armor here. Some defender's armor, which is actually a pretty big increase to what we're wearing, rather than defender's mail. So let's go ahead and take that. That's not bad. Cassandra finally getting some decent gear here, which is what I like to see. She definitely can benefit from it, especially as our sort of primary damage sponge. Gonna be beneficial for sure. More serpent stone. Always a lot of noises going on in the background. Not noises, but, you know, sounds. Real world sounds. Sometimes wild animals, perhaps another sword fight in the distance. A lot of them can actually lead you to important things on the map. You know, they're not just sort of filler. Although some of them are filler. You know, there's a nice combination of both, which I appreciate. What do we got going on here? Looks like this is the Bandits Camp. Let's go ahead and take out these two guards. Being rather awful at their jobs. Just sort of standing still, of course. Like every good video game guard. They must have a really great union, I mean. Oh wow, that was a hell of a magic attack from him right at the end there, actually. I wasn't really expecting that. Another free merchant's helmet. I don't think we can just open... Oh wow. Like I said, they must have a real great union. Sort of pick and choose our battle here. Let's go for the archers first. They're soft targets, we'll be able to take them down quickly. Of course, that'll prevent them from engaging our team every 10 seconds with an arrow. The hounds are going to be a bit more to deal with. Well, as the guy with the shield, obviously. Alright, well that takes care of that. One of the things I've really noticed as the rogue is, it's something I'm still trying to like just get used to doing, get in the habit of doing, is not expecting fights to just be over in a matter of seconds. You know, rushing through fights, rushing through the engagement as a whole. You know, just take your time. You know, just sort of look at it. I mean, I guess you could play it in different ways, and you know, I imagine over time your playstyle is going to change depending on the gear that you have. But right now, the current situation that I find myself in most frequently is that I'm trying way too hard to get the fight just over with, to finish it, and I'm wasting a lot of resources when I should just be sort of doing damage over time, letting my team do damage. Again, staying out of combat, highlighting the targets that I feel are of the most value to me as a rogue, as a character who, you know, is more focused on burst damage. So that's really one of the learning things that I've been focusing on. I just picked up a ton of random gear. I don't think any of it was any good. The looting of objects in this game I find slightly annoying, because I feel like I find a lot of gear that I don't really care about. But I guess, you know, as an RPG, you expect, the player is expected, you know, the player expects to find a lot of gear, you know, sort of just stuff throughout the world. And sort of sort through it. It's sort of the tradition, you know, to find stuff even if it sucks, and sort of wade through it all to find the good stuff, but it does get kind of irritating after a while. Sturdy Adventurer's hat. I refuse to wear it, I'll be completely honest. Once again, the hats, just no. Like, is the benefit really worth it? I can't bring myself. I'd rather wear a heavy helmet, to be honest. It's better than that hat. However, Varric, you appear to not have a hat on. I just look completely... This is like a Power Ranger from the medieval era at this point. Always grab the elf root when you see it. Herbs are always beneficial. Down the road for crafting. You never know where you're gonna, you know, find out that you need 20 of this or 10 of that. Same thing goes with the ores. I mean, that's just the way the crafting system works, you know, you might as well just grab it when you see it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the zone, kind of see what's going on here. We've gotten to the rendezvous point there, and you can see we still have to search for the Wardens. The zone's actually going to take us a little bit of time to complete, so it's not, you know, it's not exactly a pushover here. But let's go ahead and close this next rift, which it does appear we're going to have to do a little bit of a traveling to actually make our way over there. Not at all concerned, though, so let's just let's take a nice walk. It's a rainy day in the forest here, but it is actually a pretty gorgeous place to be, I gotta be honest. I'm so completely hooked on this ocean, this shoreline that they've done here. It is outstanding. Just double check the map here, I want to make sure. Okay, we're heading right into it, actually. It should be right around the corner here. That's... Hold on a second. Oh, no, there it is. Right on the shore. Wasn't quite sure where I was in regards to where we were just recently on the shoreline. Getting a bit turned around there. Let's make it happen, eh? Just fully heal up. Of course, you should always do that before you cloak, or you'll be pulled out of your cloak, like I just was, so... Not the smartest move there. Second wave coming in. Let's see if I can disrupt this rift before they actually hit me. Oh. Too many of them around doing range damage. Let's pick these guys off. Just pull this out for a second, sort of take a look at what's going on here. I kind of just want to... I've been trying to use this as a way to... Not so much to use it just yet, because I feel like I don't need to this early on, but I kind of want to focus on see what my my character is doing. What are people like Solas getting themselves caught up in? For example, right now, Solas has found himself probably not in the best position. You know, I understand that for him, this is probably where he needs to be range-wise to ensure that he can support me, because he is set to defend my character. But he's caught himself a little bit mixed up there. And Varric is sort of Yeah, he's doing a decent job. He's got himself behind some cover. He's also on higher ground. And Cassandra is just trying to, pretty much engage the most powerful target at any given time. And, sort of aggro that. So, situation's going alright, I guess. As I say that, Varric starts pulling aggro from a shade here. Also, bad thing is we have some of these, terrors in here. It was a relatively successful engagement. Big XP gains. Big XP gains going on here. Excited about that, that's for sure. So one of the things I guess I want to take a look at real quickly, kind of show you guys a little bit more in detail, is how it's not really as deep as I thought it was going to be honest, the behavior system that we have here. So if we go ahead, we can look at we're not going to look at my main character, we'll look at somebody like Solas, who of course is set up to be more of a support character. His mana and stamina reserve is at 50%, so basically 50% is when he will go ahead and use a potion. And when they fall below this threshold, you'll see party members will stop using abilities that require it. Basically, you can see right there, I could toggle this so he'll use, he has a different amount of potion reserves. In this case, I've given him 1. Actually, we'll go ahead and give him 2. I don't feel that him or Varric should be using up a large portion of our potions. That should be reserved for Cassandra. Cassandra is the one who is in the heat of it all, and while she does have heavy guard and she has a lot of abilities that are going to give her more sustained, the ability to take more damage and have more sustain in combat, she still just needs to have those potions as backup. So she has a little bit higher of a potion reserve compared to the rest of these guys. At least that was the original plan. She's running 3 instead of that, so. And you can see I have it very high. So we want to keep her health up. I still find her dropping way too often, so I think what we're going to do... The issue is... it's hard, because we're seeing a lot of these guys, sort of die off very quickly, so... I don't want to eliminate Varric's potions altogether. And I'm not sure... We're going to try 1 for Solas. I know it seems risky, because he has been dropping in combat a lot. So maybe what we'll do is we'll increase his threshold here to 80 and we'll only give him 1. So again, this isn't as detailed of a system as I feel like they could give. I would like to see this be really branched out in this game, I would like to see almost a detailed tree. It's completely optional. If I want to, I can go ahead and I can give them all these behaviors. If this happens, then do this. I think that would be an interesting, design. I mean, I understand that the idea is that the AI is supposed to do most of it, but I would much rather have, the option to go really deep if I wanted to, and to give my character a bunch of if, then, do this, if, then, do that, that would just be, I think that would be cool. You're basically creating the brain, the tactic system that each of the NPCs and your party uses, and I'm all about that. That sounds awesome, but hey. Not harping on the system the way it is, it's still great, and of course we have the sort of pause and move tactics, sort of RTS camera mode that we can go into at any given time. So it's not like you don't have your options to make your team do what you want them to do. At this point, I'm just exploring, to be honest. I want to see if there's anything good over here. Who knows, there could be a chest. Is that a chest? Is that a chest? I believe it is. No, it's not. It's a table with some wine and some cheese. Or someone was just overlooking the ocean, I guess. If I could sit in that chair, this game would be an instant 10 out of 10. Because I could sit in the chair, but I can't. So 5 out of 10. No sitting in chair near the ocean. Alright, well, nothing over there. They're just really interesting structures that we have going on here. Let's go ahead and pick some spindleweed, and let's take a look at the map. Alright, one more piece while we're here. And again, we still have quite a bit of stuff we have to deal with here. At least the 2 rifts are now eliminated. You'll see that we have a landmark, and there's also a cave nearby. What I really want to focus on, though, is I would like to make it to this camp, at least before the end of the day here. So let's go ahead, set the camp as our next objective, and see if we can't find our way there. We do have a huge mountain in our way, so I imagine we're going to have to make use of this valley up ahead, this small sort of passageway, and head on down. I hear a bird, a large bird. No dragons, though, which is always a good thing. Let's go ahead and call our horse. I don't think we can, actually, now that I think about it. Down on this coast, no. A horse is not available as to on this island. I would imagine not. We traveled great distances to get here. We probably took a horse, but hey, you know, there's no horse here. What are we going to do? That is a ram. Small house up on the top of the hill up there. And it looks like we got a decent passageway finally. Alright. It's very rare that I find myself actually hearing the music in this game. Maybe I just need to make it louder, but when you do, it's pretty good. It's good stuff. I feel like in most of these RPGs, and even a lot of, you know, shooters these days, the music quality is really on point for a lot of these experiences. Summerstone, 3 times 3. Ooh, more Summerstone. I have no idea what Summerstone is, but hey, that's a new one. You never know, we can always probably use it in the crafting process of any gear. Increase the statistics a little bit more. But yeah, like I was saying, the music just seems to be just great lately in a lot of games. I think that's one place where we've really reached a high point.
I have heard that your books are very popular, Master Teth.
And I hope it stays that way. I love hearing good music in games, especially when you get the kind of tune that it just sticks in your head, you know, and it sort of it helps melt the memory together of that certain experience. You know, how many of us, you know, are obsessed with music from the 1920s and you know, the 1940s, that sort of era, because of games like Fallout. You know, every time I hear I don't want to set the world on fire, or like Butcher Pete, you know, I just Fallout, man. I just have to go play those games. So I think when we can make that connection in a game, they've done something right with the music. Door's locked. I wonder if Varric can lockpick it. Let's find out. I don't think he can, but I guess we'll see. No, it just doesn't even give me the option. It's just straight up locked. Alright, now I'm intrigued. There's a locked door in this cabin. Well, we'll have to come back to it, because I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now. Oh, hold on. Bit of loot before we go. Got some death root. Of course, as you guys will notice too, a lot of the new stuff that you pick up as you're playing the game, I'm not bothering to read the codex, but you could choose to do so, and you would know what it is then, rather than wandering around clueless like myself, just being, hey, what's that? I don't know, I'll figure it out some point. That's sort of my logic at this point, so. I know they're wounded, we're making it to a camp. Give us a break here. What's going on down here? So this is, I think this is the cave below us, which does in fact have enemies. Giant stone golem. Let's ignore the cave for now, we can always come back to that. See if we can slide our way down. Just realized we're walking around as Cassandra here, but hey, whatever works.
This would be a good place to set up camp.
And that is what we shall do. Camp established. We've definitely increased our range of function here as the Inquisition on the small island. Not small island, the small shore. Storm Coast is what I should say. And you can see we still have one more camp we can take. We also have another rift. This is apparently a active Fade Rift that has been spotted near Lyrium Falls. It's, of course, sort of on its own over there, so maybe it'll be a little bit more of a challenge. And then we also need to find out if there's any signs of the Grey Wardens left on the coast, which is, there's 4 of those in total, so we'll be doing a little bit of backtracking next time we're here. And then, of course, there's some of the smaller, more collectibles that we can grab. We got the Astrariums and the Ocularums. And we also have what appears to be one landmark out there that we sort of missed, so I'm digging these smaller zones like this. I hope there's more of them because this one just feels incredibly unique and I don't want to say atmospheric, you know, it's well done. I mean, that's I guess the best way I can put it. Look at the freaking ocean. I'm completely loving that. I really am. I'm not going to stop talking about that, but hey, if it's good, it's good. That's what I always say. So, thank you guys for joining me once again for some more Dragon Age Inquisition. If you guys are playing the game, I'd like to hear your experiences. You know, what type of character are you playing? What class? You know, what race? What level? You know, just tell me about it. I want to hear what you have to say about your Dragon Age experience. Of course, try and keep it spoiler-free if at all possible, but hey, if there's any little stories you like to tell that just have things to do with combat situations you are in or some sort of random event that occurred that was really damn awesome and memorable, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And if you have anything you'd like to say about the video, also feel free to leave that in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next one.